if you're gonna read chapter 55, Peter Hogg, there was a one case, McKinney versus University of Gulf. If you're gonna read McKinney versus University of Gulf, clearly according to the charter, apart from these body, everything is independent of government. Charter doesn't apply. Everything is independent of government. Charter doesn't apply. According to chapter number 55, McKinney versus University of Gulf, everything. Airports are independent of government. Charter doesn't apply. Airports, universities, charter doesn't apply. Hospitals, charter doesn't apply.
Can you write down give us the name of the spelling, McKinney, the name, so that we can write down the name of the case?
Yeah, McKinney, McKinney
versus University of Gulf.
Versus University of Gulf, 1990. According to this case, if you will read the Peter Hogg book, 55 chapter, 55.5c. 55.5c. Okay, according to this one, everything is independent of government. Charter doesn't apply. So first question is always, first we have to establish a room 1, then we have to jump into the room 2, then we have to jump into the room 3.
So that's what you're saying. So we start with
always section 32.
32 first, and if it doesn't apply, so if it's not a federal government, it's not a provincial municipality, boom, we go on to chart room 2, which is freedom of religion, expression, life, liberty, security,
yes,
equal rights, listed grounds analysis.
Okay, then
Oakes test.
Oakes test. What is Oakes test? I'll let you know, right? First step, then second step, third step. I will explain third step. First, structure is very important, my friend. If you will not gonna build your structure, you can.
Now just giving us a map, and then you'll explain.
Exactly. Okay. So okay. So apart from apart from that, charter doesn't apply, but there are some exception. For example, university. If university gonna make a law which is against my freedom of religion, charter doesn't apply. But there are two exceptions. Write it down. There are two exceptions. Apart from whether charter apply to the body, there are two exceptions. One exception is substantial degree of government control. Write it down. Substantial degree of government control. Computer guys, can you please write substantial degree of government control?
There are two what?
Substantial. Asmita, substantial degree of government control.
What is it? There are two.
The exceptions to this rule.
Degree of government control. Substantial degree of government control. There are two cases. One is Eldridge. One is Eldridge. One is Stoffman. One is Eldridge. D-R-I-G-E, I think. Eldridge. One is Stoffman. Stoffman. S-T-O-F-F-M-A-N.
So this Eldridge is under substantial degree of government control, or it is another exception?
I will. This is the first exception. Eldridge. Okay, one case is Eldridge Hospital. One is no. Sorry. My mistake. Substantial degree of government control. Douglas versus Douglas. Sorry, my mistake. Douglas. D-O-U-G-L-A-S. Douglas versus Douglas College, 1919, 1990.
Douglas versus Douglas College,
1990. There was one exception, substantial degree of government involvement. What happened? My name is Douglas. My friend, I need your eye contact. Computer guys, I need your eye contact. My name was Douglas. Okay. There was serious violation in the Douglas College. There was a serious violation of there was a 2A, can be 2A, can be 2B. What happened in Douglas versus Douglas? The guy, he was trying to, there was some infringement. There was some serious violation of Canadian Constitution. There was something like he was, I think, freedom of expression. he was saying something against the policy of the university. So he was expelled from the university. He was expelled from the university, right? So he was very upset. So he said he was expelled from the university because he was going against the policy. He was speaking something against the policy of the Douglas College. So he was fired from the Douglas College. So he stepped out, came to your office. You all people were constitutional lawyer. So Douglas was going to the court. So first question is whether charter apply to the college, Douglas College. Rule within the criteria of section 32, federal, provincial, municipality, minister, official, admin, office, police officers are bound by the charter. This is called rule. Rule is rule. We cannot change the rule. Then rule apply into the application. According to the McKinney versus University of Gulf, everything is independent of government. Charter does not apply. According to the section McKinney versus University of Gulf, apart from these grounds, Douglas College was not bound by the charter because it was independent of government. But Douglas was bound by the charter. There was one exception. The substantial degree of government involvement in a Douglas College. There were 21 people, executive officer, executive body of the Douglas College. They had 21 executive officers. All people are appointed by the governor in council. Honor of Douglas College, they had how many executives?
21.
All were appointed by the governor in council. Governor in council means federal cabinet. All people were appointed by governor in council, which shows that substantial degree of government involvement. There was one exception, substantial degree of government involvement. Again, charter apply. How would we determine substantial degree of government involvement? We're gonna solve the exam question right here. So I'm gonna give you one exam question. I have even posted here later. Okay, there was one exception, right? Computer guys, you got it?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
So how would we determine? You will see whenever you're gonna read exam question. Okay, exam question. Okay, policy of the Douglas College. The guy, we have to read the facts. We're gonna pick up the facts. Facts would be, okay, clause 1, government policy. Clause 1, Douglas College policy. Clause 2, this one. Clause 3, we have 21 executive. Clause 4, all executive were appointed by the federal government or provincial government or governor in council, which is a federal cabinet, or lieutenant governor in council, which is a provincial cabinet. Okay, all are appointed, which shows that substantial degree of government involvement. Again, charter apply. This rule is established in Douglas versus Douglas College. Substantial means more than 50%. If more than 50%, for example, this is my private office. This is my private office. Whether charter apply to my private office? Rule, cut, copy, paste, application. This private office, Aamer office, is within the criteria of McKinney versus University of Gulf. Aamer office is not bound by the charter because it was independent of government. According to that, McKinney versus University of Gulf, everything is independent of government. Hospital, universities, airports, according to McKinney versus University of Gulf. But Aamer had 3 executive. We had 3 executive. For example, we had 3 executive. 2 out of 3 were government official appointed by the federal government, which shows that substantial degree of government involvement. If question gonna come from exception, it would be a 10 marks. If question gonna come from exception, it would be a 10 marks. If question gonna come from these grounds, 2 marks. So exceptions is very important. Substantial degree of government involvement. Okay, second case. In Eldridge Hospital, Eldridge was bound by the charter. Stockman Hospital was not bound by the charter. Why? There was a 2 case. Everything is independent of government. Eldridge is independent of government, charter doesn't apply. Stockman, charter doesn't apply. So why Eldridge was bound by the charter?